Okay, so another day. So our topic is about blood gases, pH, and buffer system. So I prepared this slide. Um, some part of it. I edited it, and for the references, it, it came from Bishop, Henry's, and some resources from the internet. In case at the end of this lecture, you are expected to outline the interrelationship of buffering mechanisms, explain the clinical significance of the following pH and blood gas parameters, determine whether data are normal or present, or represent acid-base disorders, identify some causes of non-respiratory, um, identify some causes of the acid-base disorders, okay, as well as the compensation. Okay, how will the body react to, when I say compensation, is that how does the body react in order to correct the pH, the abnormality in the pH. And aside from that, we describe the significance of the hemoglobin oxygen dissociation curve. Okay, so we have here some definitions. Of course, when say acid, it is a substance. It can yield a hydrogen ion or hydronium ion when that is dissolved in water. Okay, base, it can yield hydroxide ions. Okay, so dissociation constant, it describes relative strengths of the acids and bases. So for your learning task regarding this, that will also help you in your midterm examination, is that in a bond paper, I want you to tabulate differences. Okay, so you will have 5 columns. Okay, 5 columns. So first column are the different parameters. Second column, that is your metabolic, okay, metabolic acidosis, followed by your respiratory acidosis, metabolic alkalosis or your non-respiratory alkalosis, and then your respiratory alkalosis. Okay? Dun sa ROS, you have here um, lab test results. Okay? Is the pH high? Is the PCO2 high or low? And also take note of the different reference range. Okay? For this. Okay? So, second column. Okay, third na pala to kasi yung first is this one. For I row, first row, yung mga acid-base disorder. Second row, this one. Third row, fourth, fifth, okay, 6, and the number 7. So, number in most effective compensation, or what are the compensatory mechanism? Okay, compensatory mechanism. So, take note ha, columns, those are your acid-base disorder. Okay? So, second column, non-respiratory acidosis. Last column, um, I think that's your respiratory alkalosis. Okay? So, metabolic muna and then last yung respiratory. Metabolic acidosis, respiratory acidosis. Okay? Or yung order na lang mismo dito. Sa first yung metabolic acidosis. Okay, so pK, that is the negative logarithm of the ionization constant. Anyway, these are just some of the definitions. I know that you already know this one. Pag buffer means it resists a change in pH wherein there's a weak acid and its conjugate base. Okay, so we have here oxygen and gas exchange. So these conditions are necessary for adequate tissue oxygenation. Okay, by the book of Bishop, this nasa last part niya to, after the different metabolic disorders or acid-base disorders, but I want to discuss this briefly. Okay, take note that the following, these are very important. Okay, because tissue oxygenation is uh, related to the development of acid-base disorders. Okay? So here, as well as for the compensatory mechanism. So there are 7 conditions necessary for adequate tissue oxygenation. Available atmospheric oxygen. Okay? So is the in the environment that that a person lives, is the oxygen in the environment enough for the oxygenation of tissues, okay, as well as adequate ventilation. gas exchange between lungs and arterial blood. Okay, loading of oxygen onto hemoglobin. So this is related to some of the hemoglobin disorders. Okay, kapag nagiging iba na yung structure of hemoglobin, adequate hemoglobin, like in case of if there's disorders, if there's anemia, okay, what will happen? Tissue oxygenation will also be affected, okay, because of the lower level of hemoglobin that can deload oxygen to the different tissues. Adequate transport of oxygen. Okay, so both of these they are somewhat related, and the release of oxygen to tissues. Okay. Another is that there are common factors influencing amount of oxygen that moves through alveoli into blood and then tissue. So the presence of this different conditions, they can affect, okay, tissue oxygenation as well as the elimination of carbon dioxide in our lungs. Okay, wherein that can lead to acid-base disorders like in the destruction of alveoli. Okay, so what will happen? So in pulmonary edema, okay, airway blockage, inadequate blood supply, and diffusion of carbon dioxide and oxygen. So these factors they influence the amount of oxygen. Okay, that oxygen in the alveoli. Okay, that can also affect the oxygen present in the blood that can be delivered to tissues. Aside from that, not only oxygen but as well as the carbon dioxide. Okay, kasi for example, the destruction of alveoli or in the presence of airway blockage, carbon dioxide, okay, cannot also moves out of our body kasi there is blockage. So in that case, what metabolic disorder can possibly happen? Okay, so we have here oxygen transport. Of course, you know naman we have the oxyhemoglobin and the deoxyhemoglobin. When you say oxyhemoglobin, it's the hemoglobin with attached oxygen. If that's deoxyhemoglobin, hemoglobin without attached oxygen. Carboxyhemoglobin, your hemoglobin is attached to carbon monoxide. Methemoglobin, if your hemoglobin is in reduced state. Okay, is the iron is oxidized, I should say. That is in ferric. If you remember, iron should be in reduced state, that should be in ferrous state. But in methemoglobin, that is in ferric state. Okay, so quantities associated with assessing a patient's oxygenation. Okay, the oxygen saturation. Okay, the fractional oxyhemoglobin, trends in oxygen saturation, and the oxygen content. Okay, but when it comes to acid-base disorders, there are four parameters that are usually checked: the pH, the PCO2, the bicarbonate level, as well as the PO2. But it's usually yung mga three. Okay? Si pH, PCO2, and bicarbonate. So, basing on that, they can identify, okay, the possible acid-base disorder. So, in the hemoglobin oxygen dissociation, oxygen must be released at tissues from its carrier hemoglobin. So, oxygen dissociates from adult hemoglobin in characteristic fashion as shaped curve. Okay, shape of oxygen dissociation curve and affinity of hemoglobin for oxygen are affected by hydrogen ion activity, the level of carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide, the body temperature, and the 2,3-DPG. Okay, so let's further discuss that later. But in our discussion, I want to mainly focus on the different acid-base disorder. And take note, guys, that this is very important. Okay, in our course, in your board examination, but as well as in your midterm examination. So we have here maintenance of the hydrogen ion. So normal concentration of hydrogen in extracellular body fluid. What do you mean by extracellular body fluid? Outside cells ranges from 36 to 44 nanomole per liter, but body produces much greater quantities of hydrogen ion. Via lungs and kidneys, body controls and excretes hydrogen to maintain pH homeostasis or pH balance. Okay, so when it comes to maintaining, okay, the pH, we have two major organs that is involved. We have the lungs and the kidneys. Okay, lungs and kidneys. So maintenance of hydrogen ion concentration, we have here terms. When you say acidosis, the pH level is below 7.35, and when we say alkalosis, the pH level is greater than 7.44. Okay? So for the buffer systems, regulation of hydrogen, buffer systems are body's first line in defense against extreme changes in hydrogen ion concentration. All buffers consist of a weak acid and its conjugate base. So again, what's the purpose of the buffer system? It tries to resist a change in the pH, right? Because it has its weak acid and the counterpart conjugate base. Okay, so in the body, okay, in the human body, we have the blood buffers or the major buffers in our system. So we have here bicarbonate and the carbonic acid. Okay, so the bicarbonate and carbonic acid, these are major extracellular blood buffer. We also have plasma proteins. Okay, what are examples of the plasma proteins? Albumin, globulin. So again, these are proteins found in plasma. Why is it that they can act as buffer? Okay, if you remember, proteins, they have the charges. Okay, so plasma proteins, they have buffering capacity through the charges in their surface. Okay, so the charge regions of these amino acids or these proteins can bind hydrogen and hydroxyl ion. So that's why they can function as buffer. Hemoglobin, on the other hand, it counteracts any rise in blood pH by releasing hydrogen ion from a number of atomic site. Okay, because your hemoglobin can bind to hydrogen ion. Okay, aside from that, a number of hydrogen ions are bound to or are taken up by the molecule, acting to counteract a decrease in pH. Okay, so si hemoglobin, it can bind to hydrogen ion or it can also offload it. Okay, that's why it can what do you call this one? It can participate in the buffering system of the body. How about for the inorganic phosphate? Okay, inorganic phosphate can reversibly bind free hydrogen ions. Okay, so anong binabind niya? Hydrogen ions, just like for the hemoglobin. So both of them, they can bind and they can offload hydrogen ion. Okay, so as to act as a buffer. So the bicarbonate carbonic acid system has low buffering capacity, but it is considered as an important buffer because of three main reasons. Okay, your carbonic acid, this is your carbonic acid. Carbonic acid can dissociate to carbon dioxide and water, allowing carbon dioxide to be eliminated by lungs and H as water. Okay. So changes in carbon dioxide modify ventilation or de-respiration rate. Either that can be hyperventilation or hypoventilation. Bicarbonate concentration can be altered by kidney. So take note of this one, guys, because these are important. These are important informations when it comes to the compensatory mechanisms of the acid-base disorders. Here, the amount of carbon dioxide is regulated by the lungs. The amount of bicarbonate, that is regulated by the kidneys. Okay, lungs and kidneys. So it's easy to remember this one. Okay? Kasi carbon dioxide, of course, that is it's a gas. Okay, that's why that is expelled by your lungs. Unlike for bicarbonate, this is analyte of the blood, okay? And usually what filters the blood? It's the kidneys. That's why it's the kidney that can also, okay, eliminate this type of analyte. So we have here an illustration depicting carbonic acid bicarbonate buffering capacity. Okay? So take note also that arrows can go on in the right and in the left equation, denoting that this chemical reaction is reversible. Okay? Your carbon can combine with water to form carbonic acid. Carbonic acid can dissociate to form hydrogen ion and your bicarbonate. Okay? So we also have here another arrow, which this one means that, okay, so here if you can see your carbon dioxide that is regulated by the lungs through respiratory regulation. On the right side, we have here the one is in orange, that is your bicarbonate, that the amount of this is regulated by the kidney. That's why what the statement there is that renal regulation. Okay, so your carbonic acid bicarbonate buffer system, that is the most important buffer in maintaining pH homeostasis in blood. Okay? So again, do not forget your carbonic acid bicarbonate buffering system, that is the most important buffer for maintaining the pH homeostasis in blood. In this system, gaseous metabolic waste, your carbon dioxide, it can react with water, okay, to form carbonic acid. And again, inuulit ko, your carbonic acid can dissociate to form into your hydrogen ion and your bicarbonate ion. Okay? So, in the lungs, the bicarbonate or this carbonic acid can dissociate. Okay? So, pwede din naman reverse reaction. Your carbonic acid can dissociate into carbon dioxide and water. Okay? So that your water can be eliminated by the lungs. Okay? On the other hand, changes in carbon dioxide modify the ventilation rate, and again, your bicarbonate that is altered by the kidney. Okay? So if there is a problem, take note, if there is a problem with the elimination of your carbon dioxide, which is the lungs, right? So if there's a problem with the lungs, what organ of the body does the compensatory mechanism? It's the kidney. Okay? But what if there is a problem with the kidney? What organ will do the compensatory mechanism to restore the pH of the blood? These are the lungs. Okay? So kung may problema sa kidney, sino magbabalik ng pH or sino mag-aayos? The main compensatory mechanism si lungs, and vice versa. Pag may problem sa lungs, okay, may problem sa carbon dioxide elimination or regulation of your carbon dioxide, sinong organ yung what organ will act as in the compensatory mechanism. Mahirap siyang Tagalog. Okay? So, it's the kidney. Okay? Or those are the kidneys. Or the kidneys. Okay? So, do not forget that is compensatory mechanism is by the other organ. Okay? So, we have here respiratory control. I think, wait lang. So we have here an illustration. So we have your carbon dioxide on the left side, carbon dioxide that is again regulated by your lungs. And on the other hand, the bicarbonate that is regulated by the kidneys. If blood becomes acidic, which means there's an increase in hydrogen ion or there is a decrease in your bicarbonate, respiratory rate increases. Okay, so we will discuss that further on the different compensatory mechanisms. So we have here, I want to show this one to you.
Constantly produces and excretes carbon dioxide into the blood. Carbon dioxide combines with water to make carbonic acid, which dissociates into hydrogen ions and bicarbonate. This is an equilibrium, meaning all of the components of the left and right sides coexist at all times, and the concentration of any component is determined by that of others at any given moment. The rule of thumb is an
Okay, so I hope you're able to understand that one. So it's as simple as this is a reversible chemical reaction that usually happens within the circulatory system so that it can maintain the pH of the body. So, in the first part, you can see that your tissues
metabolism constantly
gives off
produces and
the
excretes carbon
carbon
dioxide into the
dioxide,
blood.
wherein that is
Carbon
carried out by the
dioxide
blood.
combines with water to make
Okay.
carbonic acid, which dissociates into hydrogen ions and bicarbonate. This is an
So as to maintain the body temperature. Okay, but this carbon dioxide, okay, in the form of your bicarbonate, it travels in the lungs and then it can be offloaded again. Okay, and then that is expelled in the body. Okay, so we have here it's the artery, okay, the vein. So it's the artery that releases the the oxygen to the tissues. Okay, so the tissues, so we have here the tissues gives off the carbon dioxide that is carried by, okay, the veins towards the lung. Okay, so you can see here cells to your vein to the lungs, and this is expelled. On the other hand, your lungs, okay, through inhalation, of course, you inhale the oxygen, okay, that is carried out by the that is carried by the artery towards the different part of the tissues or the cells because oxygen is important. Okay, so if you can remember, this is related to the metabolism. Okay, so metabolism in the provision of the glucose, your oxygen is necessary so that ATP can be produced. Okay, because the oxygen serves as the electron acceptor, okay, for the synthesis of ATP in the inner mitochondrial membrane in oxidative phosphorylation, kung naalala nyo pa. So we have here interrelationship of your bicarbonate and hemoglobin buffering system, hemoglobin plus your bicarbonate. So the CO2, you can see here, that is generated from metabolism. Okay, so if you remember, in the glycolysis, in the TCA, carbon dioxide is generated as well as in the different metabolic pathways and the different chemical reactions that occur in cells. So it combines with water to form the carbonic acid. The carbonic acid dissociates into hydrogen and your bicarbonate. Okay, so here, as you can, I don't know if you can see my arrow, but it's on the under venous arterial circulation, we have here your HHB. Okay, that is a hemoglobin with attached hydrogen ion. Okay, so the bicarbonate will then, of course, both through the lungs. Okay, so this one, it shows you that the hydrogen is inside the cell. Unlike for the bicarbonate that's usually present on the outside of the cell, that is in the plasma. So they move to the lungs. Okay, the hemoglobin offloads the hydrogen ion. I hope you can see the arrow. Okay, and then they combine as carbonic acid. The carbonic acid then dissociates into carbon dioxide and your water to be exhaled. Okay, that's why the hemoglobin is also involved in the buffering system kasi nga, okay, it binds your hydrogen ions. Okay, so that is the most important buffer system in the body. When an acid is added to bicarbonate carbonic acid system, the bicarbonate will combine with hydrogen from the acid to form the bicarbonate. This guys, it's very important to understand. So in case of there is accidental ingestion, okay, or in case in suicide attempt or in they ingest ethylene glycol, oxalic acid, toluene, hydrochloric acid, mga ganyan. So nag-ingest yung isang individual ng acid. what happens is that there is a decrease in bicarbonate. Okay? Bakit kaya there is, of course, aside from increase in the, what do you call this one, increase in hydrogen ion concentration leading to a decrease in pH, okay? Aside from that, the level of bicarbonate also decreases. So, pag nag-decrease yan, it means there is an acidosis. But since this situation does not involve your lungs, will fall under non-respiratory acidosis or the metabolic alkalosis. So, kunwari, an individual ingested ethylene glycol, okay, or oxalic acid, formic acid, kasi nagpakamatay siya, or accidental ingestion only. So, the acid will dissociate, okay, and then it will form a lot of the hydrogen ion. If you can see in my left, I hope you can see my arrow. On the left, there will be an increased level of the hydrogen ion. Okay? So, to neutralize this hydrogen ion, they will combine with your bicarbonate. Okay? So, it will combine with bicarbonate leading to what? Decreased level of bicarbonate in the blood leading to acidosis, metabolic or non-respiratory acidosis. Okay? So, on the other hand, when a base is added, bicarbonate will combine with the hydroxide group to form water and bicarbonate. On the other hand daw, so that's the case for an acid. The acid will combine with the base, your bicarbonate, leading to a low level of the bicarbonate. But if a base is added, an individual ingested a base, di ba base, it contains hydroxyl group. Okay, the hydroxyl group will react with the carbonic acid to give off the water and to give off bicarbonate. Okay? So if that's the case, what will happen? There will be an increased level of bicarbonate. Okay? So if there will be an increased level of bicarbonate, what acid-base disorder can possibly happen? Okay, mataas yung bicarbonate, tumaas yung base, that will be alkalosis. Since this is not respiratory, it will fall under non-respiratory or the metabolic alkalosis. Okay? Aside from that, the bicarbonate to carbonic acid ratio must be in 20:1 to maintain the normal pH. Okay? Bicarbonate to carbonic ratio, that is, take note ha, nauuna yung B and C. Bicarbonate to carbonic acid ratio, that is 20:1 to maintain a normal pH. Okay? So, regulation of acid-base balance, take note, we have two main organs that is involved, lungs and kidneys, okay? But remember also that there are other tissue buffering that happens in our body, the plasma proteins, the hemoglobin, as well as the presence of inorganic phosphate, okay? Lungs, ventilation affects the pH of the blood. So, what does the lungs do to buffer, okay? So, as to maintain the pH of the blood. It's about removing, okay? Removing or delaying the elimination of the carbon dioxide. Okay? So, oxygen is inspired and diffuses from alveoli into blood. Carbon dioxide diffuses into alveoli from blood and is eliminated via ventilation. It results in minimal change in hydrogen ion concentration between venous and arterial circulation. Okay? But when it comes to compensatory mechanism, this is about the carbon dioxide. Okay? Kaya minsan may hyperventilation or hypoventilation para mapabilis yung elimination ng carbon dioxide or mapabagal yung elimination ng carbon dioxide depending on the acid-base disorder that is present. Another is we have kidneys. The kidneys regulate the acid-base balance by excreting acid or bases and reabsorbing them. The bicarbonate, this is reclaimed from the GFR or glomerular filtrate. Okay, GF, the glomerular filtrate to prevent excessive acid gain in blood from loss of bicarbonate in urine. Okay, so the kidney can increase reabsorption or increase the elimination of the bicarbonate. Aside from that, it can also retain hydrogen ion, or it can eliminate hydrogen ion that is usually in the form of ammonium, your NH4 or the NH4. Okay, usually if the kidneys want to eliminate acids, that is in the form of the NH4 or the NH4 plus or the ammonium ion. Okay, so we have same the bicarbonate buffering system and the Henderson-Hasselbalch equation. So measurement of components of bicarbonate and buffering system provides information on other buffers and systems that regulate production, retention, and excretion of acids and bases. The Henderson-Hasselbalch equation expresses acid-base relationships, that is pK plus log of Ck, or this is the conjugate base, and here over the acid. Okay, so here we have again terms: acidemia kapag the pH of the blood falls uh, below the reference range; alkalemia if there is an excess base, the pH is greater than the reference range. Okay, so we have here the Henderson-Hasselbalch equation. The A here, that is the conjugate base, of course, that is the bicarbonate. And the HA here, that is the acid. Okay? So, because bicarbonate and carbon dioxide are the major buffers in the body, pH is typically expressed as a function of the ratio. Okay? So, we have here the logarithm of this one, the conjugate base that is regarded as under Henderson-Hasselbalch, that is the bicarbonate, and the acid, that is carbon dioxide. So, I want to clarify that it's not the carbon dioxide that is acidic, but it promotes high level of carbon dioxide promotes the generation of more acid. Okay? So, but basta take note kapag mataas, when we say bicarbonate, you relate that into base. When it comes to carbon dioxide, you relate that to acid. Okay, carbon dioxide, you relate it to acid. Your bicarbonate, that is base. Okay, so the Henderson-Hasselbalch equation, the pH depends on the ratio of the bicarbonate and the PCO2. Okay, so for the HCO3, should be 20 is to 1, right? So pH increases when the ratio increases. It happens in alkalosis. pH decreases when the ratio also decreases. Okay, so take note of this one, ha. If the ratio may be increased, okay, the ratio may be increased, and that happens in alkalosis. Okay? So, kailan nangyayari yung increase na yan? Saglit. Okay, so take note of this one. The ratio may be increased. Okay? So, kailan tumataas yung ratio? If the bicarbonate increases, the ratio increases. If bicarbonate increases, what will result? That is metabolic alkalosis. Bakit kaya metabolic? Okay? Take note, kapag ang affected bicarbonate, that is non-respiratory or metabolic. Okay? Ibig sabihin, hindi yung lungs yung affected. Okay? Basta bicarbonate. Okay? Yung affected. Pero kapag yung PCO2 yung affected, that is respiratory. Okay? Since tumaas yung ratio, tumaas yung bicarbonate. Again, bicarbonate, we relate it to base. Kapag tumaas yung base, ibig sabihin, tumaas din yung pH. Therefore, this is, if the HCO3 increases, your bicarbonate increases, that can lead to metabolic or non-respiratory alkalosis. Okay? What is another, ano pa yung another acid-base disorder wherein the ratio of this bicarbonate to PCO2 is increased. Okay, so if this one decreases. Kapag bumaba yung PCO2, ibig sabihin tataas din yung ratio. Tama ba? So again, PCO2 in what condition? So we have here, pag PCO2, that is respiratory. Sabi, bumaba. Bumaba yung PCO2. So bumaba yung amount ng acid. So kapag bumaba yung amount ng acid, that is, sinabi na natin kanina, respiratory, mababa yung amount ng acid, therefore, respiratory alkalosis. Okay? So, nagigets? Kapag there is an increase, okay, in bicarbonate or kapag there is a decrease in PCO2. In what condition? Ano na to ulit? Increase, this is alkalosis. Okay? Kasi mataas yung acid. But since hindi yung lungs yung involved, that is metabolic. Tama? Okay, on the other hand, this is metabolic or non-respiratory, ha? Non-respiratory. Okay? Here, this is respiratory kasi yung affected is the lungs. Okay? Respiratory. Okay, respiratory. Sabi, decrease in PCO2. Mababa yung acid. Kapag mababa yung acid, that is alkalosis. Okay? Alkalosis pa rin. Okay? That is the respiratory alkalosis. Okay? Kasi nga mababa yung number of acid. Okay? Mababa yung number of acid. So, how about if the ratio, okay? How about if the ratio is decreased? Kailan bumababa yung ratio? If there is a decrease, okay? If there is a decrease in bicarbonate, okay? What metabolic condition? Acid-base disorder. Okay, so we have here that is also non-respiratory. Kasi nga ano yung affected? Your bicarbonate. Non-respiratory or metabolic. Okay? Decrease in the base. Okay? Therefore, mababa daw yung base. Therefore, this is non-respiratory or metabolic acidosis. Okay? Another acid-base disorder wherein the ratio may be decreased. Okay? If there is an increase in PCO2. Tama naman if you analyze it. Okay? Kapag bumababa to, ay pag tumataas to, okay, bumababa yung ratio. Okay? Pag eto bumababa, bumababa din yung ratio. Okay? So, increase in PCO2, ano yung affected? That is the lungs. Kaya siya respiratory. Tama? Okay, kaya siya respiratory. Mataas daw yung acid. 'Di ba sabi ko kanina, you relate carbon dioxide to acid. Okay? Though it's not the carbon dioxide that is acidic, but it promotes the formation of acids. Pag mataas yung PCO2, mataas ang acid, that is, ang involved is the lungs, there is respiratory acidosis. Okay? So, do not forget those. So, I want you also to remember this one, okay, later on in your examinations. Of course, we want you to analyze, okay? So, which of the following, for example, which of the following disorders, okay? So, bibigyan namin kayo ng disorders. Which of the following disorders can possibly lead to a high ratio of the bicarbonate to PCO2. So, hindi to yung mga tinanong namin, pero yung mga involved na sakit. So, if that's the case, you identify if that disorder or that sickness falls under metabolic alkalosis or it will fall under respiratory alkalosis. Okay? So, if that's the case, yun yung sagot. Okay? Pero kung yung mga na-enumerate na questions are only disorders that can lead to metabolic acidosis or the respiratory acidosis? What can the answer is of course none of the above kasi lahat ng possible answers will lead to a ratio that is decreased. Okay? So, always take note of that one. Okay? And always analyze. Kasi since that is exam and this is college, we are requiring you of higher order thinking skills. Okay? Hindi na lang which of the following don't expect a question like this. Which of the following acid-base order will result to a high ratio of bicarbonate to PCO2? Hindi. Okay, bibigyan namin kayo ng diseases. Okay? So, when we say non-respiratory, it does not involve the lungs. Therefore, this is also the metabolic. Metabolic acidosis. So, acidosis, okay? Again, if that is non-respiratory or metabolic acidosis, anong iisipin nyo? It's the bicarbonate. Okay? Pag metabolic or non-respiratory, you think of bicarbonate. Mataas ba siya o mababa? If we have respiratory acidosis and alkalosis, you have to think of carbon dioxide. Mataas ba siya o mababa? Okay. So, here, don't look at the definition yet. Dito lang muna tayo, non-respiratory acidosis. So, ibig sabihin, non-respiratory or metabolic, okay? Therefore, we think of bicarbonate, okay? Acidosis, okay? So, we think if the level of bicarbonate is high or low. Since bicarbonate, this is basic, okay? Ibig sabihin, hindi mataas yung level niya. Kasi kung mataas yung level niya, edi dapat alkalosis. Okay? Therefore, here in your non-respiratory or metabolic acidosis, the level of the bicarbonate is low. Mababa yung base, kaya nagiging acidic. Nagegets? Kasi di ba non-respiratory, again, pag non-respiratory or metabolic, ang iisipin natin dito is bicarbonate. Bicarbonate is a base. Okay? Since this is non-respiratory acidosis, your bicarbonate is base, ibig sabihin, konting-konti or mababa yung level ng base. Kaya ka nagkakaroon ng non-respiratory acidosis. Nagigets? Okay? There is a decrease in bicarbonate resulting in a decrease in pH. Kapag respiratory acidosis naman lungs, okay, respiratory. So, ibig sabihin, carbon dioxide yung involved. Okay? So, respiratory carbon dioxide acidosis. Okay? So, kapag carbon dioxide, the more carbon dioxide, the more acidic. So, acidosis, ibig sabihin, mataas yung level ng ating carbon dioxide. Okay? Decrease in alveolar ventilation, causing a decreased elimination of carbon dioxide, which means decrease in elimination means high level of carbon dioxide in our blood. Okay? Mataas ang carbon dioxide sa blood kasi nga hindi siya nai-eliminate. Nagigets? Okay? Mataas yung level ng carbon dioxide kasi hindi siya nai-eliminate. Okay? So, ano ulit yung mini-measure? It's the arterial blood. Okay? So, we have here, kasi nga, bakit arterial blood, ma'am? It's the, it's ABG kasi. It's arterial blood gas analysis. Okay? So, we have here also the, what do you call this one? Acidosis and alkalosis. Ito, yung counterpart, mga alkalosis naman. This is non-respiratory or metabolic. Ang iisipin natin here is, guys, do not look at the definitions yet. Pabayaan nyo muna yung mga definitions. We try to analyze it together so that we can understand it better. Okay? Non-respiratory, metabolic, what analyte is involved? Bicarbonate. Okay? Alkalosis daw siya. Alkalosis. Okay? So, basic and bicarbonate is a base. Therefore, mataas yung level ng bicarbonate. Okay? So, high level of bicarbonate causing an increased level of the pH. We move to the counterpart respiratory alkalosis. Respiratory acid-base disorder. Therefore, we think of carbon dioxide. Pero alkalosis. Carbon dioxide. Pag sinabi nating carbon dioxide, okay, it promotes generation of acid, or we relate it natin na lang as an acidic component, okay, or acidic siya. So, kapag mataas yung level ng carbonic acid, edi acidic, di ba? So, dito, since this is alkalosis, we are referring to carbon dioxide, ibig sabihin, mababa yung level ng carbon dioxide. Okay? Low level of carbon dioxide because of what? Because of fast elimination. Okay? Mabilis na paghinga, just like in hyperventilation. Okay? Increase in alveolar ventilation. So, kapag mabilis yung paghinga, mas maraming carbon dioxide yung natatanggal sa katawan. Kasi saan ba nanggagaling yung carbon dioxide sa katawan natin? Okay? So, the faster the rate of breathing, the more carbon dioxide is expelled. Okay? Mababa yung carbon dioxide that can lead to respiratory alkalosis. So, I hope nagigets niyo yung concept. Pag non-respiratory, isipin mo bicarbonate. Pag respiratory, isipin mo carbon dioxide. Okay? Non-respiratory acidosis, isipin natin dito is bicarbonate. Acidosis, so mababa yung bicarbonate. Okay? Kaya nga siya acidic. Respiratory acidosis, carbon dioxide yung isipin natin. Acidic yung isipin natin because carbon dioxide. Therefore, mataas yung carbon dioxide. Okay? Mataas yung carbon dioxide. Here, non-respiratory, isipin natin bicarbonate. Okay? Bicarbonate is basic. Since this is non-respiratory alkalosis, ibig sabihin mataas yung level ng base. So, mataas yung level ng bicarbonate. Respiratory, carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide, relate it as acidic. Okay? So, since this is alkalosis, so ibig sabihin, mababa yung level ng carbon dioxide. Kaya to basic. Okay? So, mababa yung level ng carbon dioxide kasi mabilis siyang nai-eliminate. Nagigets? Faster elimination or faster breathing rate, the more carbon dioxide is expelled. Lower ventilation, lower breathing rate, more carbon dioxide is retained. Okay? So, what is the problem in? So, we have here, what's the problem in respiratory acidosis and alkalosis? There is a problem with the lungs. Okay, kaya nga siya respiratory. Okay? Lungs involving carbon dioxide. So, kapag acidosis, respiratory acidosis, ibig sabihin, mataas ang carbon dioxide. Okay? So, there is hypoventilation. Okay? Or lower elimination of carbon dioxide. Kaya nga nagiging acidic. Sa alkalosis naman, okay, respiratory alkalosis, paulit-ulit tayo. The problem is the lungs, which means mabilis yung elimination naman ng carbon dioxide. Kaya that leads to alkalosis. Non-respiratory or metabolic, we think of the kidney, usually, okay? Kidney, but other parts of the body is also involved kasi it's not always the kidney naman. Hindi laging kidney yung problema. Okay? Non-respiratory or metabolic acidosis, we think of bicarbonate. Okay? Either mataas lang yung bicarbonate or mababa. Kapag acidosis, bicarbonate, that is base, okay? Ibig sabihin, mababa yung level ng base, kaya nagiging acidic. Nagigets? Mababa yung level ng base, kaya nagiging acidic. Okay? Here naman, pag metabolic or non-respiratory alkalosis, bicarbonate, so ibig sabihin, alkalosis, mataas yung level ng bicarbonate. Gets? Tama? Okay na? Okay. If the problem is respiratory, compensatory mechanism is the kidney. Okay? Usually it's the kidney. Okay? But tissue buffering is also involved. Ano yung sa tissue buffering? It's the hemoglobin. How about if non-metabolic? Okay, ang problem, non-respiratory, I should say. Non-respiratory acid-base disorder. Okay? Compensatory mechanism is done by the lungs. Okay? So, the problem in compensation is that mas mabilis yung compensatory mechanism ni lungs. Pero, that is short and incomplete. Anong gusto nyo? Faster, pero incomplete? Okay? Short and incomplete. Ganun sa lungs. Pag kidneys, mas mabagal, pero mas efficient siya. The kidneys is more efficient when it comes to buffering system, but the problem is slower. Okay? Pero the good thing is that is long-term and more effective. So both have their own advantages and disadvantages. Okay? Mas mabilis sa lungs pero incomplete. Okay? Si kidneys mas matagal pero long-term and mas effective siya. Okay? If metabolic acid-base disorder or non-respiratory, sino yung compensatory organ? It's the lungs. Pero if that is respiratory, ang magko-compensate usually is are the kidneys, okay, as well as tissue buffering. So, yun na, I already discussed this one. Respiratory, so that is achieved by the kidney. Compensatory mechanism by the kidney as well as tissue buffering. Pag the kidney naman yung problem or non-respiratory acidosis or alkalosis, it's the lungs or the lungs are involved in the compensatory mechanism. We also have here two terms, fully compensated and partially compensated. Okay? Pag sinasabi kasi natin compensatory mechanism, guys, or compensated, hindi yung sumahod siya. Okay? It's about correcting the pH. Okay? When we say fully compensated, the pH is back to normal. When partially compensated, the pH is not yet within the normal reference range, but it is near or approaching the normal reference range. Okay, so we move to the first acid-base disorder. We have the non-respiratory acidosis. In some books, they term this as metabolic acidosis. So again, what is involved? It's the bicarbonate. So dito, mataas ba o mababa yung level ng bicarbonate? Mataas o mababa? Mababa yung acid. Kaya nagkakaroon ng acidosis. Okay, usually in non-respiratory acidosis, there is a reduction of bicarbonate. So since there's a reduction of bicarbonate, there is a decrease in pH. Except what? Except sa dilution acidosis. Okay? Pag nag-a-administer ng acids, dilution acidosis, and acidosis that results from shift of hydrogen ion from the cell. Okay? Lumalabas daw yung hydrogen from the cell papunta sa extracellular fluid. Okay? So, take note kasi it's the plasma that we measure. Shift. Okay? It's the plasma that we measure. Okay? It's not the red blood cell. So, as a result of the ratio for the non-respiratory to respiratory component in the Henderson-Hasselbalch equation being less than 20:1. Okay? So, yung ratio niya is less than 20:1. Okay? Kasi nga mababa to. Anong mababa? Yung bicarbonate. So, bumababa din yung kanyang ratio. Okay, so we have here reduction in bicarbonate content may be due to a primary increase in acid production. So extrarenal to. Kumbaga, it's outside the kidney. Okay? It's not a function or it's not a problem with the kidney. So a primary increase in acid production. Okay? So if there is a primary increase in acid production, what will happen? It combines with the bicarbonate leading to a decreased level of bicarbonate. Kaya dito, bumababa yung bicarbonate. Okay? Mababa yung carbonate kasi mataas yung acid, and the high level of acid combines with your bicarbonate to form carbonic acid. Okay? So, anong nangyayari? Mababa yung level ng bicarbonate. Primary reduction in net acid excretion. Okay? So, here the problem is the kidney. Okay? Si kidney daw, hindi siya maka-eliminate. Okay? Hindi siya maka-eliminate ng acid. Okay? Or pwede din na na-eliminate niya or hindi niya nare-reabsorb yung bicarbonate. Okay? So, this is from Bishop. We have here Henry's. Okay? According to Henry's, the following are causes of metabolic acidosis. Okay? So, ang term kasi ni Bishop are non-respiratory. Ang term na ginamit ni Henry is metabolic. Okay? Metabolic acidosis. So we have here renal acidosis. So here the problem is the kidney. Sa extrarenal naman, yun na yun, hindi kidney yung problema. Sa uremic acidosis, okay? So take note of this one. Under uremic acidosis, we have two. Okay? We have ano ba yung problem? Dito na. The problem here is like acute or renal failure. Okay? So, sa uremic acidosis, acute or renal failure. Okay? There is an acute or renal failure. So, in the renal tubular acidosis, okay? So, in the renal tubular acidosis, we have three types ng acidosis. Anong pinaka-common dito is si proximal renal tubular acidosis or yung type 2. Sa type 1, ano yung problem? Okay? H excretion is impaired. Sa type 1, do not forget, H excretion is impaired. So, kapag nai-impair yung hydrogen ion concentration, tumataas yung acid. So, anong nangyayari? It combines with the bicarbonate, leading to a low level ng bicarbonate. Yun yung problem sa type 1 or distal renal tubular acidosis. Ang problem naman sa type 2 is bicarbonate reabsorption. So, anong nangyayari? Instead na marireabsorb yung bicarbonate, na-eliminate siya, natatanggal sa system. Okay? Natatanggal siya, na itatapon, na pupunta sa ihi. Kaya bumababa yung carbonate leading to metabolic or non-respiratory acidosis. Sa type 4 naman, okay, si type 3 kasi is hindi na siya ginagamit na term. So, type 4, this is caused by aldosterone deficiency or tubular unresponsiveness to aldosterone. So, in that case, there is an impaired renal tubular potassium secretion. So, nagkakaroon ng hyperkalemia. So, if the potassium is not excreted, anong nangyayari? Okay? So, the major mechanism of acidosis in type 4, RTA or renal tubular acidosis is hyperkalemia-induced impairment in ammonia production in the proximal tubule. So, ano nangyayari? Hyperkalemia, hindi na-excrete bicarbonate yung na-excrete dito. Okay? So, do not forget the differences of those. So, distal, proximal, tsaka yung sa aldosterone. Ang problem sa aldosterone is hyperkalemia-induced impairment in ammonia production. Okay? So, we move sa extrarenal acidosis. Here naman, dito is, kanina, pag renal acidosis, okay, hindi kasi there is a problem with elimination ng hydrogen ion, which are acidic, or there is increased elimination ng bicarbonate. Sa extrarenal naman, dito acidosis, usually tumataas kasi yung level ng acid. Okay? Since again, tumataas yung level ng acid, okay, ano mangyayari? It combines with bicarbonate, leading to a low level ng bicarbonate, except this one. Okay? Yung gastrointestinal loss, okay, the gastrointestinal loss of bicarbonate. So, if there's a gastrointestinal loss of bicarbonate, ano mangyayari? Bicarbonate yung involved, that is metabolic or respiratory. Mababa yung level ng bicarbonate, that is respiratory or metabolic acidosis. Okay? Pag nag-ingest ka naman ng acid or acid precursor, ammonium chloride, sulfur, okay, salicylate, ethylene glycol, oxalic acid, kasama yung mga yon. Okay? So, wag niyong kakalimutan itong mga to, salicylate poisoning, ethylene glycol poisoning, or yung oxalic acid, methanol, toluene, acetaminophen, or paraldehyde, they can lead to metabolic or non-respiratory acidosis. Kasi nga acidic sila in nature. Tumaas yung acid sa katawan mo, okay, nag-combine sa bicarbonate, bumaba yung bicarbonate, nagkaroon ka ng metabolic or non-respiratory acidosis. Aside from that, increased production also ng organic acidosis. Okay? Increased production ng organic acidosis like ketoacidosis or tumaas yung lactic acid or keto acid. Okay? So, sa lactic acidosis, mini-measure dyan yung possible i-measure dyan yung lactate. Okay? So, bakit kaya nagkakaroon ng lactic acidosis? Okay? Usually, kapag sa mga may chronic alcoholism. Okay? So, chronic alcoholism, tumataas yung lactate level. Okay? Kasi nga, hindi sila, what do you call this one? The formation of lactic acid is promoted due to increase, what do you call this one? Increased utilization ng fatty acids. Okay? Even sa ketoacidosis. Okay? So we have here, I want to show this one to you para hindi nyo makalimutan this video. Okay? Para in case lang, para mas maalala nyo sana. Accidental or poisoning, okay, or nag-suicide, ganyan, ingestion of the following oxalic acid in the form of ethylene glycol, formic acid in the form of methanol, hippuric acid in the form of toluene, ammonium chloride, and sulfur that can lead to non-respiratory acidosis. Okay, so i-reinforce ko yan ng video para mas matandaan nyo.
In paint and glue. All of these organic acids have protons, and at a physiologic pH, they dissociate into protons and the corresponding organic acid anions. The released protons attach to bicarbonate ions floating around, which decreases its plasma concentration and shifts the pH towards the acidic range. The key here is that the plasma maintains its electroneutrality, because for each new negatively charged organic acid anion,
okay, so that's it, guys. So ingestion of acids will increase the level of hydrogen ion. Hydrogen ion combines with your carbonic acid. So ano mangyayari? Mas magfo-form ng maraming carbonic acid. And in nature, this carbonic acid mas nagiging acidic. Aside from that, lumiliit yung level ng bicarbonate, which base. So, mas napopromote yung production ng acid, kaya nagiging acidic. Okay? There's a formation of acidosis. This is not involving the lungs, therefore, non-respiratory acidosis siya. Gets? Okay, gets nyo yan. Yes, gets na gets. Okay, so sa renal acidosis, we have here reduced net acid excretion. So, we have uremic acidosis, okay, and renal tubular acidosis, the RTA. Sa uremic acidosis, usually chronic or renal failure, okay? There is a reduced nephron mass or generalized renal dysfunction, okay? So, hindi na-eliminate yung acids. Okay, like in chronic and acute renal failure. Huwag kakalimutan. So, in renal tubular acidosis naman, there is a problem with tubular dysfunction in acid excretory function as well. So, di ba, if you remember, type 1, type 2, type 3. Pag type 1, ano ulit? Okay, hindi na i-eliminate yung acid. The H ions, H plus ions, hydrogen ions. Kaya tumataas yung hydrogen ions. Okay, sa distal convoluted tubule. How about type 2, which is the most common? Bicarbonate is not reabsorbed. So, kapag hindi nire-reabsorb ang bicarbonate, anong mangyayari? bababa yung level ng bicarbonate. Pag bababa yung level ng bicarbonate, magkakaroon ng acidosis. This is involving the kidney, therefore metabolic acidosis. Okay? Sa type 4 naman, the problem is the formation ng ammonium. Okay? So, hyperkalemia induced. Okay? So, do not forget those. So, yun nga, nandito pala siya. So, 2 types, uremic acidosis, okay? Problem with nephron mass, chronic and acute renal failures. Here, tubular problem, acid excretory problem, RTA. Pag type 1 RTA, hydrogen ion excretion is impaired. Type 2 RTA, so, there is a problem with bicarbonate reabsorption, kaya naiihi siya, napupunta sa ihi. Type 4, that is hyperkalemia-induced impairment in ammonia production. Okay? So, we also have here, ano naman kaya to? Okay, so let's watch together.
In paint and glue. All of these organic acids have protons, and at a physiologic pH, they dissociate into protons in the corresponding organic acid anions. The released protons attached to...
Wait lang. Parang naulit. So, I have another. Check natin. Insert video. Mali yata ako nang nailagay na video. Saglit lang. Okay, so let's continue. Mali ako ng video na na-attach.
Renal tubular acidosis, which is the most common type of renal tubular acidosis, and develops because the proximal convoluted tubule, which is a part of the nephron, is unable to reabsorb bicarbonate. Other types of renal tubular acidosis also result in a normal anion gap metabolic acidosis, but the underlying mechanism is an inability to excrete protons in the urine.
Okay, like yung type 1.
The excessive loss of bicarbonate results in a low plasma bicarbonate concentration, which ends up lowering the pH.
Okay.
In response, the kidneys start reabsorbing more chloride ions. So for each bicarbonate ion that's lost, there's a new chloride ion. This is why normal anion gap metabolic acidosis is sometimes...
Okay, so if you remember, there are two, what do you call this one again? Anions that are involved. Okay, si potassium at saka si chloride. So, do not also forget that in non-respiratory and metabolic acidosis, okay, involving renal acidosis, there is hyperkalemia and hyperchloremia. Okay, tumataas yung level ng potassium and yung, hindi ko nalagay dito. Yes, it's here. Tumataas yung level ng potassium at tumataas yung level ng chloride. Okay, sabi nga kanina, for every chloride that is eliminated, for every bicarbonate that is eliminated, what do you call this one? The chloride is reabsorbed. Okay, so we move to some extrarenal causes. So, ito na-discuss na natin to, di ba? Your uremic acidosis, si chronic and renal failure, because there is nephron mass problem. Sa RTA, okay, type 1, type 2, and type 4. So, we move to extrarenal acidosis, okay? Sa gastrointestinal loss of bicarbonate, na-explain na naman natin to. Okay, so since nag-eliminate ka ng bicarbonate, that can lead to acidosis kasi mababa na yung bicarbonate mo. Even this one, we already explained, okay? Ingestion of hydrogen, okay? Ingestion of acids leading to dissociation of hydrogen ions. Hydrogen ions combines with your bicarbonate to form carbonic acid, leading to acidosis and decreased level of bicarbonate. Gets? We move naman to some other factors, formation of organic acids, lactic acid and what do you call this one, keto acids. So organic acids, overproduction of endogenous acid, lactic acid. What do you mean by endogenous? Okay, so ito na yung mga acids na napoproduce inside our body. So for the acidosis, lactic acids, only mark overproduction kapag there is 1,000 millimole day for lactic acid that can lead to acidosis. So, the most common cause of lactic acidosis is tissue hypoxia. Can you remember in the metabolism? Okay? Di ba in normal metabolism, in the case of high level of oxygen, what's the usual product? That is pyruvic acid. Okay? Or pyruvate. Pero kapag walang oxygen or anaerobic metabolism, what's the usual product? Lactic acid. Kaya tumataas yung lactic acid kapag there is possible tissue hypoxia. What do we mean by tissue hypoxia? Low level of oxygen in the cells. Okay, which results from circulatory shock, severe anemia, heart failure, acute pulmonary edema, cardiac arrest, carbon monoxide poisoning, seizure, and vigorous muscular exercise. So, do not forget also this, that they can lead to lactic acidosis. Aside from that one is impaired metabolism of lactic acid. Okay? Kagaya sa acute alcoholism. Okay? So, do not forget impaired metabolism ng lactic acid. Okay? Acute alcoholism at saka sa liver, severe liver disease. So, yung lactic acid hindi na may metabolize. Kaya, anong nangyayari? There's build-up of lactic acid. There's build-up of lactic acids shifting the pH of the blood into acidic. Okay? So, wag kakalimutan yung mga yun. Okay? So, acute alcoholism and severe liver disease that can lead to lactic acidosis. Lactic acidosis can lead to non-respiratory or metabolic acidosis. Same with tissue hypoxia. Okay? They can lead to lactic acidosis. Therefore, it can lead to metabolic or non-respiratory acidosis. Sa lactic acidosis, another form is colonic overproduction ng D-lactic acid by bacteria. Okay? Kasi di ba bacteria, they are also capable of metabolizing or the metabolism of your glucose by producing the lactic acid. Okay? So, overproduction of D-lactic acid in the colon include delivery of large amount of carbohydrate to colon in cases ng malabsorption syndrome. Ketoacidosis, usually saan nangyayari itong ketoacidosis? Sa mga DM, diabetes mellitus patients. Okay? Bakit nagkakaroon ng ketoacidosis? Remember, there is a problem with insulin, so hindi masyadong nakakapasok ang glucose sa cell. Pag hindi masyadong nakakapasok ang glucose sa cell, anong mangyayari? There will be lesser production of energy. So, anong gagamitin ngayon ng katawan to produce energy? The free fatty acids. Kapag ginamit kasi yung free fatty acids for the production ng energy, there will be production also of keto acids. Ano yung mga example ng keto acids? Acetoacetic acid at saka si beta-hydroxybutyric acid. Okay? Para magkaroon ng energy. So, the increased level of this one, acetoacetic acid and beta-hydroxybutyric acid, lead to ketoacidosis. Kaya nga sa example ni Bishop, it's diabetes mellitus ketoacidosis. Okay? So, it's the ketoacidosis that can lead to, the high level of keto acid leads to acidosis of metabolic origin or non-respiratory origin. Okay? Gets? Ganun lang naman siya kasimple to. Okay? So, huwag kakalimutan, organic acids, lactic acids, keto acid, they can lead to non-respiratory acidosis. Ano pa? Hypoxia, tissue hypoxia, yan. So, a cause of lactic acids. Chronic alcoholism pala, di ba? Sa under dito is alcoholism, acute alcoholism, tsaka severe liver disease. Okay? Pag nag-ingest din ng, what else? Nag-ingest ng ethylene glycol, salicylate, toluene, okay? Hippuric acid, formic acid, yan. So, huwag niyong kakalimutan lahat. Okay? Pag renal naman, uremic acidosis, chronic or acute renal failure, and the different types ng RTA. Okay? Gastrointestinal loss of bicarbonate as well. Okay, so we can now move to, it's the same na, ano natin to, ito kasi yung kay Bishop, we already discussed this one, direct administration of an acid-producing substance. Okay, so yung mga accidental ingestion or intended ingestion to poison themselves, suicidal attempts, excessive formation ng organic acid, lactic acid, tsaka keto acid, lactic acid, tissue hypoxia, okay, acute alcoholism, severe liver disease. Sa keto acids is usually the diabetes mellitus, reduce excretion of acids, problem with the kidney. Okay? Sa renal na uremic acidosis or renal tubular acidosis, excessive loss ng bicarbonate. Okay? So, saan to nangyayari? Okay? So, excessive loss ng bicarbonate kapag there is diarrhea or drainage from biliary or pancreatic. Okay? Sa organic acid, ano to? Ketoacidosis, lactic acidosis. Okay? Pwede din ang starvation. Okay? Starvation. Okay, kaya nga minsan yung tinatawag nila is keto diet, rich in ketone-producing compounds sa ketone diet. Tama ba? Okay? At saka sa starvation kasi yun nga, mapipilitan yung katawan mong gamitin yung mga free fatty acids. Okay? So, okay, compensatory mechanism. Okay, ang sinabi ko sa inyo, since this is, what do you call this one? This is metabolic in origin. Ano yung main compensatory mechanism niya? Lungs. Okay? So, do not forget this is acidosis. Palitan ko nga yung color. Okay? Acidosis. Okay? So, in the lungs, anong mangyayari? Okay? Paano kaya niya babawasan yung pagiging acidic ng blood? That is, di ba, ano yung function ng lungs when it comes to acid-base disorder or maintaining the pH? Okay, anong usually involved? That is carbon dioxide. So, babawasan niya ngayon yung carbon dioxide ng katawan. Kasi acidic na eh, di ba? So, acidic na yung katawan mo, so babawasan niya yung carbon dioxide. So, para mabawasan yung carbon dioxide, para mapabilis, that is, increase the breathing rate. Bibilisan yung paghinga. Okay? Para maraming carbon dioxide yung ma-eliminate. Okay? That is the term hyperventilation. Increase breathing rate. Okay? Increase, napapabilis yung breathing rate para maraming acid in the maraming carbon dioxide yung ma-eliminate which can contribute to the production of acid. Gets? Okay? The base, by blowing off carbon dioxide, the base to acid ratio will return toward normal. Okay? That's the primary compensatory mechanism. Okay? This one kasi, if you remember, the advantage, this is fast, pero short term. Okay? Fast, short, and incomplete. So, there is secondary compensation. Okay? So, when the original organ begin to correct the ratio by retaining bicarbonate. Okay? So, ito yung mga compensatory mechanism niya. Organ, so, si lungs, hyperventilation. Si kidney, it retains bicarbonate. Okay? Lungs, hyperventilation. Kidney, it retains the bicarbonate. Kasi nga ito basic. Okay? As long as the kidney is working well. Okay? As long as the kidney is working properly, it can retain more bicarbonate. Okay? Gets? So, ang problem dito is si type 2. Tama? Si type 2 RTA, renal tubular acidosis, kasi it cannot retain. So, in that case, what's the compensatory mechanism? Hyperventilation. Okay? Kasi nga, hindi niya ma-retain ang bicarbonate kasi yun yung problem sa type 2 renal tubular acidosis. Okay? Hindi niya ma-retain yung bicarbonate. Kaya niya tinatapon na iihi. Okay? So, in that case, hyperventilation lang. Okay? So, after compensation, okay. So, dun muna tayo sa, magdagdag tayo dito. So, in case ng non-respiratory, okay? Non-respiratory. So, what do we expect with pH? That is low. Okay? Low, less than 7.34. Okay? Or less than 7.35. Okay? pH bicarbonate, HCO3, negative, ano to? Sa laboratory diagnosis, low din, kasi nga acidosis siya. Okay? Acid, mababa yung bicarbonate. Yun nga yung problem sa non-respiratory acidosis, di ba? Mababa ang bicarbonate. How about the CO2? Okay, the PCO2. Okay. How about the PCO2? Okay, sa PCO2, depende kasi siya kung compensated na siya or partially compensated, okay, or hindi pa siya compensated. Okay? So, pwede yan. Pero, I will discuss that on a separate video discussion. Okay? So, here, after compensation, what will happen? What do you mean compensation? Binalik na niya sa tamang pH. So, syempre yung pH mo, less than 7.4, okay? Pero within the reference range na siya, 7.35 to 7.4. Okay? Pero mababa na yung CO2. Bakit mababa na yung CO2? Kasi nagkaroon na siya ng hyperventilation. Ineliminate na niya yung maraming CO2. Okay? And how about the bicarbonate? Okay? So, mababa pa din yung bicarbonate. Okay? Mababa pa din yung bicarbonate. Kasi yun nga yung eto, di ba? Hindi naman niya kino-correct. It does not correct the level of the bicarbonate. Okay? But it corrects the, what do you call this one? It tries to correct the ratio, yung 20:1. Okay? So, since mababa to, bumaba to because of hyperventilation. Ventilation. And ano pa yung isa? Reabsorption. Tama ba? Reabsorption of bicarbonate. Okay? So, kung babalikan natin yung sa compensatory mechanism, yun. Retaining, reabsorb, or mare-retain. Okay? How about yung pH? That is normal na siya. Less than 7.4, but that is normal. So, ano yung mga electrolyte imbalances? Hyperkalemia, okay? High level of potassium and high level of chloride. So, we move also to respiratory acidosis. So, we're done with metabolic and respiratory acidosis. We move to respiratory acidosis. Ang problem is carbon dioxide acidosis. Ibig sabihin, high level of carbon dioxide. Because of what? Okay? So, high CO2 or PCO2. Okay? So, low pH, syempre acidosis. Low pH because of what? Decreased. Okay, bakit mataas? Okay, unahin na lang muna natin tong low pH kasi acidosis. Okay, acidosis. Mababa yung pH kasi mataas yung PCO2. Bakit mataas yung PCO2? Because of decreased elimination. Okay? Mababa yung elimination, syempre may problem sa lungs. Usually problem sa lungs. Or may problem dun sa respiratory center. Kasi it's the mind, it's the brain, respiratory center, it's the brain that controls the breathing rate. So, possible na it's not only the lungs, possible na yung nagko-control ng lungs, yung may problem. Okay? So, I will cut muna the video. So, yung second video will be discussing respiratory acidosis.